If you're an introvert in network marketing, I want you to know something right off the bat. The reason it has felt so hard and so wrong and so exhausting has nothing to do with you not being cut out for this. It has to do with the fact that network marketing was designed by extroverts for extroverts and then handed to the rest of us with a script, and we were told to just follow the system. I'm an introvert, I always have been, and I spent years trying to force myself into a model that felt completely contrary to how I'm actually wired. The cold contacts, the three-way calls, the practice presentations, the go for no philosophy, all of it just felt really gross to me. Not because I was weak or uncommitted, but because my instincts were telling me there was a better way. And it turns out my instincts were right. So let me walk you through what the system actually looked like from the inside as an introvert. I think a lot of you are going to recognize every single one of these. So the first step was always make a list of everyone you know, friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances, the woman you met at the gym 3 years ago, like everyone. And then you start working your way down that list using a script that someone else wrote. And the last thing I wanted to do was contact the people that I actually knew and cared about with someone else's words leading to a predetermined destination. That felt really dishonest and manipulative. And the idea of having those conversations made my stomach turn every single time. Then I had a weekly call with my upline, which was a small group of us being encouraged to call our friends and family and ask them if we could do a practice presentation. It was framed as practice, as if we were just getting reps in. But the real unspoken idea was that they'd hear the presentation and then place an order. So it was deceptive, not maliciously, but deceptive nonetheless. And I could feel that every time I picked up the phone. And then there was, of course, the go for no philosophy, which is put yourself out there as many times as possible, collect rejection, keep pushing, which might work if you're someone who gets energized by that kind of high volume outreach. But if you're someone who finds those interactions draining, which most introverts do, it's not a sustainable strategy. It's just a slow burn towards burnout. So here's what I want to reframe for every introvert watching this. The discomfort that you felt doing those things wasn't weakness. It wasn't resistance that you needed to push through. It was information. Your instincts were telling you that cold calling people you know with someone else's script isn't how you build genuine relationships. That this process actually erodes trust. That back-to-back outreach requires an energy you don't naturally have and you shouldn't have to manufacture. And underneath all of that discomfort was a feeling that there had to be a different way. A way that felt more honest, more sustainable, more like me. I always felt like I could figure out a way to do this differently. I just didn't have the language for it yet, or anyone around me who was doing it that way. And what I eventually understood is that introversion isn't a liability in business. It's actually a profound advantage if you build the right kind of business. Introverts tend to be deep thinkers, observant. We notice things other people miss. Introverts are often better writers and more careful communicators than they get credit for. And they're genuinely good at one-on-one connection when it happens naturally. So the problem was never us, it was the model. So what does building a network marketing business look like when you do it in a way that actually fits how you're wired? Well, it starts with getting really clear on your message and why you have the business in the first place. Not the company's why, but yours. So what do you stand for? Who are you genuinely trying to help? What do you believe about this industry that most won't say out loud? And when you have that clarity, you have something real to build from. And that's where introverts actually thrive, in the depth of that thinking. And then you create content that attracts instead of chases. And for me, that's YouTube primarily. So I show up, I teach something I genuinely care about, and I put it out into the world. And that video lives there for months, sometimes years. It keeps working long after the day that I made it. Someone may find it at 2 a.m. when they're searching for exactly what I talk about, and then they come to me. I didn't chase them, they found me, right? And that's the introvert's version of go for no. Except instead of collecting rejection from people who didn't ask for you, you're building a library of content that quietly attracts the people who are already looking for what you have. So Instagram is part of it too, but YouTube is where I put most of my energy because the content compounds in a way that a post that disappears after a day never can. So one video can bring in new people for years, and that's leverage. And leverage is how introverts build without burning out. So you don't have to be loud to be visible or be everywhere to be found. You just have to show up consistently in the right place with something real to say. If you're an introvert as well, here's what I want you to hear. You were never wrong for this. The model was wrong for you. And there is a version of building a network marketing business or any online business that works with how you're actually wired instead of against it. One that lets you attract instead of chase, create instead of perform, connect deeply instead of broadly. And it starts with getting clear on your lane, your message, and what you're actually building. And that's exactly what the Authority Audit will help you figure out. It walks you through the 4 foundations of building authority in your business in a way that works for who you actually are, not who the system told you to be. It's free, it takes less than 10 minutes, and the link is in the description. Now, I'd love it if you would drop me a comment before you go. Are you an introvert who has felt completely wrong for network marketing? I want you to tell me what they asked you to do that felt the most off. I want to hear it, and I want you to know you're not alone. I will see you next time.